Hello, Sagittarius, and welcome to Elevated Intuition. We are talking about the new moon in Libra, which is happening October 6th. So the significance of new moons is they kick off a new lunar cycle, and new moons are a great time to set new intentions or manifest new things, bring in the new. So the lunar cycle is approximately 28 days. It goes, it's a waxing moon, so waxing, maxing for about 2 weeks from the new moon to the full moon. And then the full moon back down to the new moon. The full moon, when it does that, when it's waning, it's a great time to release and let go of things. So we are talking about the beginning. We're talking about the start. Now, Libra is an air sign, and it is about balance. And right here, we have affirmation for healing the heart. So, and we've got two people here. Affirmation for healing the heart. This can talk about, maybe bringing balance back into your personal life. I don't know, maybe you've been too focused on work, or maybe you've even been overly focused on your personal life, because for healing the heart, like if you have had a breakup and you've just been like inundated with that kind of letting go of a person, it's time to maybe like start moving on with other things. This looks to me like it's a fire energy card. I'm not entirely sure because there's not, other than like the fire, the candle, and the sage here. Each of these cards go back to a specific element. And I think this one relates to fire. Not that it really matters, other than, you are a fire sign. So I will see if I get more from that as we pull out other cards. So we have the Queen of Swords, but she is in reverse. We've got the Knight of Wands in reverse. Interesting. Let's see what else we get. And we've got the Six of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, this has actually happened a lot. So I don't read all full reversal spreads. But in and of itself, like all of the cards coming out in reverse, it tells me something. And it usually tells me that either you're not ready, or it's time for pause, or let's slow down. And that's not, and this has happened like 2 or 3 times in other readings too. And it's not like crazy for that to come out like at this particular time, given the astrology that's going on, because we have 5 or 6 planets in reverse right now. One of them being Mercury, the infamous Mercury. Pluto goes direct on October 6th, but still we've got a lot of kind of maybe unsettling energy, a lot of like kind of chaotic energy. And even in this like affirmation for healing a heart, it does kind of feel like it's time to take a pause. It's time to feel our feelings. It's time to kind of like feel our way through this moment. When we have, we're in Libra, and this, with all of these planets, it's time for us to find a fresh perspective. And I think a lot of times when we're healing, like that is and slowing down, like that's a great time for new growth, but we have to kind of like do the work behind it. That's like the icky part, but not really, because it actually is very, very helpful for us moving forward. Like, we need to maybe rest and do some reflections on where we are. Making peace, so forgiveness is very, very important right now. And I see that like affirmations for a healing heart. A lot of times forgiveness is like that key ingredient that moves us forward and moves us out of like thinking about that relationship, or because a lot of times we get really stuck on that, like how did they hurt me or why did they hurt me? And the thing is that we take it very, very personally. We take it, and you know, this Queen of Swords, when she came out in reverse, she kind of scared me because she can be like the Ice Queen, like the Queen of Mean. Like she can be terrible when she's in reverse. Like almost if Mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. But it's time to let that go because we got to make some peace with that. So if you're coming into this feeling that way, it's time to take a pause. And I love that we have got the Six of Pentacles here with the scales because we got to find some balance. We can't be angry all the time. Now, our anger or our sadness, like those feelings, they tell us something. So I'm not going to tell you to like push it under the rug. And when we have affirmations for healing the heart, like healing does not mean you ignore something. Healing actually means that you face something, you touch it, you feel it, you move through it, you go through it. But you can, like the Queen of Swords, like you can look at your situation objectively. So she is an air energy sign. She is going to look at things from an objective perspective. She's going to kind of like peel that feelings out of it because sometimes when we feel a certain way, like we kind of act irrationally, and you know what I'm talking about. Even though like in that moment it feels like that's what we need to do or feel, you know, so we gotta like take this higher perspective, like almost this Knight of Wands. He's like on this perch. He's like, look, he's like, even his trusty steed here has wings. Now, a lot of this is talking about like moving quickly. I think he came out in reverse to say like, okay, listen, Sagittarius, you can move, that's fine, but like be careful and plan where you move. You don't just go like this fire and just set off and go very, very quickly. Like we've got to be strategic. And that's why I think the Queen of Swords is here. She's objective. She's strategic. She gets the information. Now, you may have to wait for that information because, like I said, one of our planets that is in retrograde right now is Mercury. Mercury is the planet of communication. So this is kind of like knowing that, and we need to be very intentional with our communications, but understand that other people are probably not being intentional with their communications too. So there is a great propensity for miscommunication right now. So if you want to be this queen, if you want to create this beautiful communications with everybody else, you need to be very deliberate, you need to be very concise, and you need to be objective. And I feel like these came out in reverse because not really feeling objective at the moment. And that's okay. There's a reason why, because that is going to give you an indication like maybe where you want to go or where you need to spend your energy or what you need to put energy towards. So just because we have like an emotion and I'm telling you to be objective about that emotion, it doesn't mean that that emotion isn't of value. It's of great value because it tells us something. It tells us where our hurt is. It tells us where our pain is. And this Knight of Wands wants to move beyond that hurt. He wants to move beyond that pain. He wants to get moving. Now, again, though, the only fault I would give him is that he doesn't know where to move. So that's why we have the Queen of Swords. She's going to tell him she's going to create this because she's a creative energy, create truth, create this looking for this truth, create this objectivity so that you know where you need to move and you know where you need to go, Sagittarius. And a lot of times it's not even like a physical move, it's kind of like a shift. It's kind of like a shift of attention. It's kind of like a shift of focus. Like I'm not going to be like so attentive to this relationship that didn't work out or this friendship or whatever this heartbreak is over here. I understand that this hurt me, but I have to move past it. And sometimes we kind of have to peel back those layers and shift our attention, that this isn't really about this other person. It's about like every relationship that we've ever had. And it goes back to like our first relationship in high school or middle school or whatever, and our own feelings of inadequacy. And then when you hit that, then you know you can move forward and you can like start to let go and start to make peace and start to forgiveness. Now I see the Six of Pentacles as kind of, it's reciprocity. It is giving what you get. And sometimes you're able to give more, and then sometimes some people are, you need to allow this reciprocity. I see a lot of times that people I read for are kind of this little monster down here, not necessarily this little elephant, giving, but that they have kind of like shut down on the receiving mode. And that when you have like a broken heart and you're putting boundaries around yourself, like a lot of times we don't let other people in and we aren't receiving. But I think it's more of, I said this was kind of like a shift rather than like an actual like move here, move there, move here. Seeing this, this is a figure 8 kind of situation where give and receive. So if you want to be on the giving end at some point, you need to understand how to receive. So, or, if you don't like charity, understand that like this little elephant, like he is happy, like it makes him feel good. It makes his heart feel good to give. So don't turn that away, because when you do, you're kind of like harming both of you. So accepting help and giving help are very much like the same vibration. And a lot of us, we really have this idea of ourselves as very strong. And that is true. You are very strong. But like a strong person understands their circumstances. They understand where they are. They understand their needs. And they're able to receive and then give. And then that's where the balance here comes in with these scales. So I think, Libra is about balance. Libra is represented by scales. So if you have been giving, and that might be part of this broken heart over here, Sagittarius, open your heart to receive. And it doesn't have to be something crazy. It can just be like, usually it starts around this time of year where you're in the drive. I do this a lot because I do a lot of drive-throughs because I'm a mom. I don't like to march my children through places, but the drive-through at a coffee shop, a lot of times the person in front of you will pay for your coffee. Accept that. And if you need that extra, whatever you were going to spend, you don't have to pay it forward, or you can. But, just accept that and be grateful and be happy. And then, that puts you in a happier or better position. But I also feel like this could be like a friend or family situation too, because if you're never in the receiving mode, like if you've put up blocks so that you don't receive love or you don't receive whatever it is, in this case it's money, you kind of are harming yourself. So it's peel back some boundaries here, Sagittarius. Let's move on. Let's heal that heart and let's shift our thinking. So that's what I have for you, and I hope that you have a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next reading.